we really going to sit in this place today for almost 2 hours and not talk about how it is that Roger was killed in his own home with 6 bullets in his body without anybody identifying themselves? Are we really going to sit here today and act as if Roger died of cancer? Like that Roger died of stroke, that Roger died of hypertension? Are you really going to sit here today as if Roger is the victim of gang violence? Are you really going to sit here today and act as if Roger died of a brain aneurysm? We got to call it as it is. Roger died of murder. He died of stone cold murder, and somebody has got to be held accountable. Are we going to feign as if Roger could not lawfully own a gun? Are we going to act as if because he was black, he was not protected by the Constitution he defended? Roger was 23 years old, a member of the United States Air Force, in his own house with a firearm that was registered and legal. And a police officer came to his door and shot him up like a dog in the street, as if he was not defending the rights of America all over the world. I gotta stop right here because I want to say to you what it is that a lot of you will not like, and that is Roger was better to America than America was to Roger. We owe him a debt of gratitude and a debt of thanksgiving. Roger had the Second Amendment on his side, and he had a right to bear arms. I want to say what may not be popular, but what is absolutely true. The preamble of the Constitution said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and have the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Roger had a right. And if George Zimmerman had a right to carry a gun, then Roger had a right. If Kyle Rittenhouse had a right to carry a gun, then Roger had a right. If Dylan Roof had a right, then Roger had a right. We've got to be able to defend the rights of those who love America and pledge allegiance to the flag. I flew here this morning, and while it is that I was en route to this service, I stopped in my tracks because the #1 golfer in America was stopped early this morning because he was on the way to a PGA tour. He did not listen to the police. He ran his car past the police, threatening the physical body of police officers. And you're not going to believe what they did. They arrested him. They fingerprinted him. They took his mugshot. But by 10 o'clock, they released him to play golf. Something is wrong in America. If in fact you have respect as a golfer, but you don't have a respect for an Air Force person who has given their life to this nation, you cannot remain silent in the face of injustice. Roger, ladies and gentlemen, was killed in cold blood. And all over the nation, people have been asking, is Roger's dog all right? But they're not asking, is his mama all right? Not asking, is his little brother all right? Not asking, is Harmony all right? Not asking, is his father all right? And I came to tell America, we ain't all right.
All right, we're back another Saturday here on the Watch Dawgs on our Black Media. I'm Dr. Robert G. Bryant. I got a few co-hosts. I think Ms. McKeithen is joining us from Texas. And, you know, today we're talking about strange fruit, right? If you are anything familiar with slavery, as we are in America, we understand that strange fruit was a result of slaves, black folk being tortured by the white population and being hung from trees. And so when you hear Billie Holiday's song on strange fruit, you understand what that's talking about, right? That phenomenon has not changed, right? We're in the year of 2024, and we have an election looming upon us right in November, and we see Project 2025. One of the things that I'm big on is making sure that we are educated around how things look different but in the same. So it's the same thing, in the same wolf in sheep's clothing, right? But it looks a little different. And so things have not changed across America. In fact, Bishop Bryant just talked about something is wrong in America. Something is wrong in America. Where else would you have seen, someone who convicted of how many 94 felonies almost get to walk free? You get to see a white male call Donald Trump do that. A white privileged male with money. And so, Chandra, we have something is wrong in America. What are your thoughts? I think you're muted.
You know my thoughts on this, and I'm going to try to keep us on Facebook and
all the things.
I'm going to try to keep us from getting kicked off the platform today. I don't even know why I had to stop watching the news for the last 2 weeks. I just stopped because I'm so tired. Yeah. I'm tired of seeing the two Americas. I'm tired of knowing in my heart of hearts that Obama would never have been able to run. He couldn't run for dog catcher if he had been charged with or convicted of, and we see it all around us every day. And either I don't know if we've become immune, so that's why we're not marching like our parents did every time we'd be marching 24 hours a damn day if we march for all of the injustice, and it's from our policing agencies to the justice system to everything that we touch, even our jobs. It's the two Americas for me. And it just, at some point, it just makes you sad and depressed. I've been depressed lately because I'm looking and who would have thought that, who cares how old someone is as long as they can perform the job? And here we are as Democrats, we're buying into the foolishness instead of, saying, hey, we have to do something. And I don't know whether it's going to be a civil war that we have to have in America, or maybe, just maybe, someone will, a group will say, you know what, we can no longer tolerate this. Right. We can no longer tolerate, I just like I told y'all a long time ago, about a year ago, when they gave us that crap, that new federal holiday, what is it, Juneteenth? Don't give me no damn holiday. Make it to where my son is safe driving. Right. And when he gets pulled over, if he gets pulled over by the police, I don't have to worry about him getting shot. Right. Because he had a tail light out. Right. Or, even just like with this young man, 23 years old, you go to your own door. You in your own house, and you get murdered for doing nothing. And we don't even hear about it anymore. They fired that man, but they never said that he got arrested for what he did.
Right. So Oh, go ahead.
And then you don't hear any more about it. And then everybody just goes on about life.
Yeah. So, Carlton, we just heard from Bishop Bryant, who, he preached, he eulogized Roger Fortson. And for you all who don't know, Roger Fortson was a member of the military. He was in the Air Force. He lived in Florida. As a matter of fact, Carlton, before I play the clip, Bishop Bryant said a touching thing, and he said something is wrong in America. So Chandra was just talking about that. What is your take on that phrase? Something is wrong in America.
The whole aspect of that situation was tragic, because I'm gonna say it like this: from the standpoint of the police, they did announce themselves. Maybe he didn't hear, but they should not have opened fire, because the one thing I stand on this hill to the day till time returns to eternity, is that there was no reason for them to actually open 6 rounds of fire when you could have been like, put the gun down, and to give the man a chance to put the gun down. That man ain't raised that gun. That man had that gun at his side. Ain't like he opened the door. It was absolutely tragic. The whole point is no one should be in their house, driving their car, walking down the street, anything, and have to worry about not making it home. But what the good bishop said at that man's eulogy was, and like he said, it needed to be addressed in front of everybody. It's an uncomfortable talk. It is always going to be an uncomfortable topic, but it's got to be discussed.
All right, y'all. We'll be right back. I just want to share a quick. We'll step away for a moment, and then we'll have another clip I want to show you all. But y'all don't pop in and out. Just mute yourself, but don't pop in and out. It scares the viewers when y'all do that.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
All right, so we started today with the eulogy by Bishop Bryant at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. What he was doing was eulogizing a member of his church who was Roger Fortson. Roger was murdered by a police officer in Florida, and here's the body cam from that.
Sheriff's office, open the door. Sheriff's office, open the door. Step out. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! 312, shots fired. Suspect down. Do not move! 312, get EMS my location.
He shot up. Our baby was shot up.
He was shot 6 times.
Roger was the only person in his apartment. They said they was answering to a disturbance. Was he fighting himself?
Chandra, let's start with you. You're a mother. Wow. Let's start with you, and Carlton, definitely give your reaction. And then, oh my God, look at what Moses done stopped. Man.
Whoa, shoot.
Go ahead, but Chandra, go ahead and give your feedback as a mom.
As a mother, every day until he is arrested, I would be standing outside with his autopsy picture, outside of the courthouse, outside of wherever I could stand. I would have a big life-size portrait of this is what they did to my child, just like Emmett Till's mama did. Because it was not, America did not start taking notice of the injustices that was happening to African Americans back during the Civil War. The Civil Rights Movement, until Emmett Till's mama said, nope, open the casket. Open the casket. And that's what we need to do. That's what every mother that has suffered this type of loss needs to do. They need to be standing on the just like them white folks storm the Capitol. They need to storm the Capitol with these pictures and say, until justice, we won't move. We're going to keep embarrassing the United States until justice comes.
Julius, what's your take on it?
Well, I agree that we don't do enough advocacy for things like this. We don't stand united. There is no such thing as a united front in either the African American community or the Democratic Party. The African American community seems to have other things that they're doing until the issue or the problem knocks on their doors. The Democratic Party seems to think that times have never changed and that they don't need to change. So they don't do anything as a group. They don't do anything to outside of the norm. You have to be able to change and adjust to everything that's happening in the world. And one thing that the Democratic Party has not done is change and adjust it. And one thing that we have not done is, as a people, as a community, as an African American community, we have not adjusted and changed. We adjusted. It took a long time for us to get them in this mindset, to get us in this mindset that we're in, and we have not adjusted. We have not changed. We've gotten there and got complacent. We've gotten lazy. There's no advocacy. There's no togetherness. There's no nothing where we can actively fight the system. And we have the numbers to do it. If we come out in the right numbers, they'll listen.
So, you all, this is, and I believe this is a statistic I got, how Black Americans are killed at a higher rate than white Americans. And one of the things that Chandra continues to say on all of the podcasts is, there have been, and this is no shout out to any particular culture, but there's a Jewish protection bill, a bill to protect the Asians, a bill to protect gay and lesbian folks, a bill to protect the dog, a bill to protect the cat. No bill to protect Black Americans, but then you give us Juneteenth pat on the back and say, we'll see you in November. I kind of have a problem with that. And I agree with Chandra says we need to take more drastic measures. I almost say we need, for every mom and every Black person killed by police, we should take and super glue their pictures on Capitol buildings, federal and state, and make a big scene. It's time to embarrass America until America wants to recognize that the people that made all the inventions, like the stoplight, the washing machine, your luxuries, had not been for Black folk, you wouldn't be comfortable with that.
And that is true. And then the other thing that is true is that I think that we have seen, like when we watch with our own eyes, Rodney King being brutally beaten. And then we also watch with our own eyes when they acquitted all of those police officers. Mm-hmm. So when you are so used to, when you get excited that, finally we have all the evidence. I mean, that man, he shot that boy within 20 seconds of him opening up that door. We got the evidence. Mm-hmm. So tell me why nothing happens. So I think that as Black people, we're so used to, well, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't have time to march about it because I'm trying to live. Mm-hmm. I'm working these 2 dead-end jobs,
Right.
Yes, I do have boys that could, I have children that can be affected by all of this. But as a mother, I don't have time because the struggle is real.
Sonya, your lighting is very, very.
I don't know what's
very
wrong
poor.
with it, y'all.
It's behind. You got to put your light in front of you. But really quick,
It looked like you're a real African right there.
Oh,
There
there
you go.
I am. There I am.
And what gets me as we debate, should Kamala Harris be considered seriously for the presidency? What I sat back and I thought last night, Julius. I said, wasn't that black woman that got us into and out of the civil rights movement? Isn't that black woman that helped children navigate their lives most of the time by themselves without resources, and they find a way out of no way? So why the hell are we questioning a black woman when it was black women who made this damn country even better? Talk about make America great again. Get a black woman as president.
Exactly, because we can do amazing things with limited resources. We think things through. We're not waiting for. I've never waited for a white savior to come.
Well, you didn't wait for no kind of savior.
Yeah.
Right. White, black, green.
I mean, black women are used to making it happen. So they wouldn't be questioning this. You mean to tell me that y'all thought that, what's that lady's name from South Carolina? Kaylee, whatever. What's her name?
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley.
Right.
Y'all was fine. Nobody was questioning Nikki.
Right.
Because she is passable white, even though she's Indian. She's passable white, and she can talk, I mean, she can talk the talk. But the thing with Nikki is she has no original thoughts of her own. She has to look to all these old white men in order for them to instruct her on what to do. But a woman like Michelle Obama could take this country to a new level. And I feel the same way about Kamala Harris. She could take this country to a new level.
Right. Carlton?
I'm with you when you say Michelle, but Kamala,
Well, Carlton, hold that thought. I just got a call in that Patty Hewitt's dialed in, and let her share her message.
I'm Patty Hewitt, and I'm worried about our future.
Last one.
I think about my grandkids and the belief that they deserve every opportunity. And what you deserve, what coastal Georgia deserves, is someone who cares more about their community than about corporate profits and big pharma.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Small business owners and hardworking Georgians are the heart of our community.
Have a good day.
Not CEOs, not lobbyists, not shareholders. But who's taking care of them? It's time to ask yourself, what do you want from your government? This is our year to stand up against what we know is wrong. No more DC politicians invading our home life. No more racism that kills dreams and spreads violence. And no more corporate greed at the expense of workers' rights and our environment.
So what would be the most meaningful help to you?
I've spent the last 8 years working behind the scenes, mobilizing our communities for positive change. And while that is really important work, I can't stand by and allow the same tired politicians to run this country, the same ones who've neglected the real needs of Georgians. I'm ready to take our seat in Congress so I can fight for you and your families.
I vote for you.
Thank you, my darling. I love you. This isn't about party lines. This is about voting for a better future for more Georgians. Enough is enough.
All right, Patty. So Carlton, come on back, Carlton. I'm telling y'all about going in and out. Stay by that tree. Don't move. You say not Kamala. We're not opening up a political debate, but please finish your statement. But if I didn't let that, Patty was about to get on the plane, so I had to let that guy come through right quick.
I stand by what I say. Kamala, I don't she ain't gave. Let me say it like this: Kamala as a senator gave us a whole lot more than Kamala as the VP. Kamala as a senator gave us leadership. Kamala as a VP gives us statues.
So
I'm
not giving
here.
what you're supposed to gave.
No, no, baby, she ain't giving what it ain't giving what it's supposed to give.
Well, okay, Carlton, I get it. I get what you're saying, but when in history have you seen a vice president do more than a president? You know, vice presidents are supposed to be the backdrop. You know, they're in meetings, they're going to committees, they're leading things, but no time in history have you seen even Biden he took a back seat to Obama. You know, what was that guy's name that was with Reagan?
When did who was Bush? Bush was Reagan's VP. Bush won.
Yeah. So, but he didn't take his place as a leader until he became the president. You didn't hear too much. You don't hear too much about the VPs unless they dumb. Like that one that there was a real dumb one that was the vice president for
Bush one.
One of the Bush. Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one? I can't think of his name.
I forgot his name. But and see, that's how it is.
You know, I'm gonna say it on this matter because when Bush Jr. was in office, Dick Cheney was his VP. Everybody remembers.
Yes.
They classify that man as the devil. But even when Bush was president, they still looked towards that man for leadership.
But you gotta remember, Bush. So this is how it went, Carlton. Bush, he was never supposed to be president. Jeb was the president of Indiana, but he got jealous of Jeb, jumped in, and so to protect his stupid behind, we put Dick Cheney in there. That's why Dick Cheney got so much play, because Dick Cheney really was the president. Because Bush was dumb as a rock.
Exactly.
I mean, we know that, but
so that's why Dick Cheney got to play, because Dick was his pimp. How ironic that is.
They better listen, but I want you to know right now, they better listen to Dick Cheney. I don't care what nobody says. There's one time I listened to that God-forsaken demon.
Let's slide.
When he said, "Don't be sliding me to the side."
No, we slide back on topic. Y'all ain't on the political spectrum. I know y'all won't be on the political spectrum. We have y'all as guests, but let's get back on topic. So today, Carlton, I'm going to play this clip. You brought us to this topic today about Sonya Massey. So I'm going to play this clip, and we're talking about strange fruit in modern day time.
The Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy is being charged with first-degree murder after he shot and killed 36-year-old Sonya Massey. Good evening. I'm Brendan Morano.
And I'm Karina Rubio. Massey called 911 early in the morning on Saturday, June 6th, because she was concerned someone broke in. 30 minutes late, after deputies arrived on scene, one of them shot her. The indictment officially came down today. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Henke joins us live outside the county building. Cole, we have finally heard from county officials today. What did they say?
Well, the family of Sonya Massey finally got some answers today as Sangamon County State's Attorney John Millhiser brought down a 5-count indictment against Sangamon Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson. But there are still plenty of questions left to answer about this case. Long 10 days of waiting for the family of 36-year-old Sonya Massey and the Springfield community. Up until Wednesday, little information was given about the events that led to a sheriff's deputy shooting and killing Massey at her own home after she called 911 for their help.
All right, so Carlton, walk us through that and help us kind of lock in on what you want us to look at today.
A young black woman literally was in her house and had a notification, and she heard a prowler. So she did what any good citizen would do and called 911 and said, "Hey, somebody's on the loose." The whoopie-doo. So they came and they searched the area, didn't find anything. When they got back to the house, there was from my research, there was 2 officers there at the house. I think one of them was outside of the door. The other one came in. So the one in particular they're talking about came in. He was talking to her. She went in the kitchen because she had a pot of water boiling. She took the pot of water off the stove. He came into the kitchen, pulled a gun on her, and shot her 3 times for absolutely no reason. And it generally was for no reason. The tragic part about this is the fact that he did not turn his body camera on until after he had been shot. When the second officer came into the room and was like, "I need to go get the first aid kit so I can administer life-saving medicines," the officer in court, the officer who is being charged right now, said, "Don't bother. It's not necessary." But the other officer still did what he was supposed to do,
right?
Which was administer life-saving medicine.
So let me play this, and after this video, Julius, I want to get your feedback because you've been in this space, you understand the dynamics, and I just want to get your reaction after this video.
Woman shot and killed by Sangamon County Sheriff's deputies. WND's Carly Bronkema has been looking for answers about what happened.
A woman shot and killed by Sangamon County Sheriff's deputies.
That's going to affect the immediate family and the children of Sonya, as well as our whole community. The whole community needs to take a stand.
The Sangamon County coroner says 36-year-old Sonya Massey was shot at her home on Saturday morning. Now, the community wants to know why. Tiara Standage has family who lives near Massey and wants to know what led to the shooting.
It's just sad that people can call out for help and end up dead. There's no body cam footage, being released. There's no information being released right now. So it just leads to speculation. And I think that the Sangamon County sheriffs and the police department, they need to come forward with the information about what happened to Sonya.
All right, Julius, what's your reaction? And then Sandra, after Julius, I want to hear from you about, okay, we keep from Emmett Till to pre-Emmett Till to now, nothing's changing. So after Julius, Sandra, I want to hear, what do we got to do? Go ahead, Julius.
Well, there was a investigation that revealed that you had a lot of the Klan and you had a lot of the skinheads and these neo-Nazi right-wing extremist groups that were infiltrating police departments across the country. And they're putting their guys on the police department and they're killing us in record numbers. If a police officer shouldn't be on the department if they're scared. That's not a job that you go, even, you don't go into the military if you're scary. So you shouldn't be a police officer either if you're scared. Sandra, you got us cooking with you.
Because I have a house full of boys right now.
Okay, you're just saying. No, I'm saying we could hear all of it.
I got you. I'll mute you when it's your turn. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's a shame that we don't have a better overview, oversight of all of this. There's no urgent need to change laws or anything because they're just killing us. Because society, the American society, feels that we don't matter. So if it was police officers killing the Asians, then it would be a problem. If it was police officers killing some other ethnic group, it would be a problem. It's not a problem when they're killing us. And we have to be able to stand up and say enough is enough, because we're taking too much of this. And we could sit and talk all damn day until all of us start getting together and saying we're going to advocate for what is right, advocate for justice for us. We've been every time there's a cause anywhere in the world, we're there with those people, whoever it is. I don't care if it's in the Congo or Haiti or wherever, but we're never there for each other.
All right.
And that's what has to change.
So after Chandra calls, my question to you, So Chandra, I want you to tell us, what do we got to do? Then Carlton, I want you, Carlton, to speak directly to Black politicians and what do they have to do? So Chandra, what do we have to do? And then Carlton, what do the Black politicians need to do?
Our conversations need to come to come out of the barbershops and the beauty salons and all these back rooms that we talk in. When I post things on my page, I have trolls that come out the woodwork. They don't comment on nothing else. But if I say something that they feel uncomfortable with, they start talking. And I had this one girl named last name Betterson, and she's a teacher down in Savannah. And I posted something the other day, and it was in relation to this fake shooting of the president. Mm-hmm. And she said, sounding like a slave, well, unless you are, you need to take this down unless you are independently wealthy. So there's that slave mentality to where even when we're seeking justice, even when we're speaking truth to power, no, we can't say that because Massa might see your page and whip you. He might fire you. He might do. And I told her, have several seats, slave.
That's right.
Because I'm not that person. I'm not going to shut up just because something that I say, which is truth, might make you feel uncomfortable. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, check yourself. Mm-hmm. If me talking about racism in America, and then you coming back and saying, well, I don't see color. Well, you need to have that check because everybody in America sees color.
Yes.
Don't lie. And don't make it okay for a racist to be racist.
That's it. So, Carlton, and I'm going to make a comment on that in a minute. That's the most, and I want people to stop using that stupid ass phrase, I don't see color. They take your fucking eyeballs out. Carlton, what do the Black politicians need to do?
A while ago, me and some people were having a conversation on this topic. And the idea of it sounds great, but I'm not sure how well in practice it would come. Of course, I support police officers because they keep us safe. They help keep us safe. Of course, we always gonna have every job you go to is always gonna be corrupt people, bad people. But you can't always classify. You can't junk them all together because they're not all bad. Because I've seen police officers stop on the side of the road and help people. One of them I saw, he bought the kids in the neighborhood a basketball goal so they can have something to do. But something simple, instead of the union itself carrying the insurance on them, each individual officer should have to carry their own insurance. I'm not saying that they shouldn't fund it. I'm just saying that they should have to carry their own. They should get enough for it's getting paid for. So that way, once enough of these incidents happen where the insurance has to pay, insurance will kick you off if you have too many claims. So once the claims get and they can't get insurance, they shouldn't be able to be an officer anymore.
I get what you're saying. And so let me step back to what Chandra said, Joel. America has a problem with hard conversations. We can talk all day about the stock market, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on across the world, but we can't talk about how America hates Black people, how America doesn't want to talk about Black people. We didn't bring ourselves over here. You put our people on the boat and brought us over here, and then you want to rape our Black women. But then you say our Black women ain't good enough. They were good enough to make your babies. Now, weren't they, Thomas Jefferson? So let's have that conversation. America needs to stop being a pussy and start having the hard conversations. This is coming from someone who has done diversity, equity, and inclusion work for years. And I'm like you, Chandra. You start off saying, you're tired. I'm tired. It makes no sense to me that a person can be in their home, be killed in their home trying to seek safety because the white people use the police as their personal bodyguards, right? But yet you planted that damn cocaine and them drugs in Compton many years ago. They had a war on drugs against us. We got to have the hard conversations. And so how do we start uncovering those and making sure the slaves of us, right, that Harriet had to leave behind, and the white people and the Indians and Asians and the LGBT realize we here. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask for our women to get raped. We didn't ask for all this bullshit, but we're going to start having the conversations.
And it starts with our leadership, because if you're living in a city, I'm going to take Savannah, for instance. If you're living in a city where you have leadership that majority Black, why aren't you using your platform? I don't care if it's happening in your city or it's happening in the nation. Why aren't you using your platform to speak truth to power? And the reason why they don't is because they're being bought and paid for and screwed in the backside by the white man, and they feeling like, oh, well, if I say this, I won't get sponsorship. If I say this, I won't get another 4 years in office. But I would rather say what needs to be said for the 4 years that I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make an impact in those 4 years, just like when Keisha Gibson Carter and them were in office. They were speaking truth to power, And the thing that I don't like, Linda talked more about justice and everything when she was not, before she became a council person. And now she talks just like all of the white people that have paid for her.
I mean, that's what happened when you get a check in your pocket. You're going to start doing what the people want you to do because they want a check.
But see, how is that benefiting your community?
It's not.
I would rather.
It's not going to ever benefit the community. It's for self-benefit.
And for them to get these positions and then shut the hell up, that's too much for me. I'm just like, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, a dog ain't gonna bite his owner's hand.
Huh. But they really should be ashamed of themselves to get in these positions where they can make a difference. And then they do nothing. They do nothing but sit in that chair and collect checks and have these backdoor meetings with people that are not for our community. Because if every Black mayor, if every Black senator, if every Black council person throughout this country would come together and say, we need change for real. For real.
Well, you say they sit there and they take these backdoor deals, but the problem is the community is the problem. Because the one thing that, I'm like RG now. The one thing that I get tired of is these people who sit here and support these people who've been in the only reason they support them is because they've been sitting in the chair for so long. They be like, oh, and I'm gonna say it like this: it is the older generation. They will continue to vote for them simply because they feel like they ain't doing no wrong and they don't know no better.
Well, I'm not gonna blame no any generation, because for my 35 years, I'm gonna get your sorry asses up and vote. Period. It's two sides. Every coin has two sides. Well, I do have an issue with our elders in the community who fail to pass information along or want to hold on to the baton of leadership because they can't trust it because they did not teach the upcoming generation. That's fault right there. At the same time, I am beating my head against the wall along with Rashida and you all to wonder why, if you're 40 years and under, why are you not your vote is your investment. Why are you not making an investment not only in yourself, but you believe so much in the Bible that care about your neighbor and get out there and use your investment called a vote? So it's a two-sided coin there. And I'm at a point now where I'm about to go there. I can appreciate wealthy black people. I can't appreciate wealthy black people who are so far up the ostrach's ass that you don't realize that you are in the same boat as everybody else. Just because you got $1.50 more than me don't mean that you got nothing going on. Until you are a billionaire, or until better yet, you can count yourself as a millionaire. Don't come to me with that bull. Just because you got money in the bank don't mean you got anything. So you in the same boat. So I'm opening up this can of worms because it's time, right? I think we talked about it on the Rabble. I don't care about no Democrat, Republican, Libertarian. I care about the fact that there was a whole bunch of motherfuckers, excuse my language, y'all, I'm pissed off about this, on that boat. And they had to get along to make things work out. So where have we come from that boat to now where we can't even, we see each other down the street and we mad because you done said a word to me or you got my girl, I'm going to shoot at you. What the hell has happened?
Well, Robert, we understand your frustration.
I know, I ain't going to say it no more.
I understand it. And the thing is, we have been talking for 4 years, almost 5 on this platform on concerning these issues. We have been advocating to a certain degree for correction and solutions. But it takes all of us, not just the few of us. You said we need to have those conversations. We've been having those conversations. What we need is people coming and having the time to come together to come up with solutions. They're not just going to happen. They're not going to listen just to us because they figure if nobody else is going to make them do it, then we'll let those guys over there on that platform just keep saying what they're saying. But until we come together, we can have all the conversations in the world. It's not going to change nothing. We got to be able to say that we're all going to get on the same page and we're all going to be in the same room trying to make effective change. If we can't effect change, then we're talking for nothing. We can't keep talking about it. We got to start working on it. That's like people praying and not working. We praying by talking, but we not going out and doing the work. It's an everyday thing. We can't keep talking and yelling our heads off on this platform with over 20-something shows on all kinds of subjects, talking about trying to change somebody's life if we aren't going to walk the walk. We talking it. We got to walk the walk. And we got to be able to create those conferences. We got to be able to call those people together. It's 20, 30, 40 of us on this platform alone that need to be in the same room to show these people where we're at so we can say, okay, let's effect change. They're not going to come and they're not going to listen. Numbers change everything. If you don't have the numbers, people don't respect you. If you got people in a room doing talking about a subject, they don't give a damn. But if you got 40 or 50 people that might turn into 400 or 500, then they care. And you got to stop making them care.
And you know what? On your topic, Julius, I feel like, well, I know that white people are afraid of us. They're afraid of us not because we're the most violent, because we are not the most violent. They're afraid of us because of all of the things that they have done. Can you imagine sitting right next to somebody that you stole from, you raped their wife, you kill half of their family members and all this, and y'all sitting, and then we got to sit right next to you, and you kind of wondering what they, how can they just pray about it? I feel like they're gonna get me at some point, so I'm gonna get them first. So they have ingrained it into every, police officer, all this. Well, they gotta be They got to be held under control. They got to be, you have to mismanage them and all of this type of stuff because we don't want them to wage what we know we deserve.
Okay, well, and I agree with you to a certain extent. The part that I'm having a problem with is that it's not just white people. It is let's just call them what they are. It's the establishment. And some black people are part of the establishment.
That is true.
So we got to be able to call those people out also. You got people with a lot of money. You got people with a lot of influence in our community that don't do nothing. Robert talked about them a minute ago. So we can't just talk about white people. We got to talk about every damn body. Everybody gets in this boat. We need to be talking about the establishment. They're the ones who are doing all the things that you're talking about. It ain't just them. It's those people that don't want to lose their status and their money also. So we got to be able to put all of them in the same pot and say, hey, this is what it is. And then people will probably see, because as long as we keep saying whether that it's white or it's black, we know now that there are many of us with them. Look at Clarence Thomas. Look at Tim Scott. So we can't, we got to be able to say who they are. It's the establishment. It's the Republican Party. You can call that without saying color. We got to be able to tell people who they are, and not think that we're on here saying that it's black against white, and when it's not. It is a system against us. It's a whole system. And if we don't break the system down, and if we don't come out in numbers and advocate for ourselves, we won't get any effective change.
All right, y'all. So we got a few minutes left. Calls and hop back on. Chandra and Julius, y'all get 1 minute each. We talked about strange fruit in modern times. What's your last minute? 1 minute comment. Chandra, go ahead.
Strange fruit in modern times.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change. We have to change up the strategy. You cannot continue to do the same thing that we did back in early 2000s and expect, because we've seen so many of our future, we didn't know who you don't know who these young people, or even if they were middle age, could have been if they would have been allowed to progress in life, So we have to change. And everybody from their web of influence has to make that commitment to say, hey, because I just joined the League of Women Voters. You have to get with things that you can make an impact.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. All right. Really sure last 1 minute.
Correct. And I challenge everybody to get involved. If you're not involved, then you don't count. How you want somebody to fight for you? You got to fight for your damn self. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you think it is. Hell, you're praying to Jesus every day. You got to go out and work. If you believe in what you're praying for, then you got to go out and work after you say the prayer. And none of that is going to work unless you get your tails off the couch and go out. Stop being lazy. Stop staying in the house saying that it's going to be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. It ain't never been okay for us. We got to make it okay. And the only way that we make it okay is by uniting. I don't care with who, white, black, green, blue. It don't damn matter what color you is. We all need to come together. If you have a common purpose, you have to have a common cause, and you can get to some common solutions amongst from a collective thought tank.
All right. Paulson, you got 60 seconds. That's 1 minute. Everybody didn't understand it. No, we must stop. Go ahead, and then we're out of here.
The one thing I'm saying about strange fruit in modern times, it's still strange fruit. It's still strange fruit. Just it's not on the tree anymore. It's on the street corner. It's on the highway. It's in our neighborhoods, and it's something that we shouldn't have to see. It's something that we should not be witnessing on a daily basis. So the only thing I'm gonna say is, people, we gotta get our minds together. We gotta get our mindsets together and get our communities together, because the storm not coming. The storm is here.
Say it, preach it, bro.
All right, and so y'all, thank you so much. I know everybody has things to do. We're going to end with Billie Holiday's song, and so I know you all can go ahead and tune on out. But
I hope they don't screen us for you putting Billie Holiday's song up. We can't put nobody's song up.
Okay, we won't put it Billie Holiday's song, Strange Fruit. We will see y'all next week. I'll just show y'all where it's at. It's on YouTube.
You can say that you're not the owner of this music.
That don't work. That don't work.
Okay, yeah, I ain't gonna push it, because Nelly know where I live, so I ain't gonna push it.
You can do that on your personal pages. You can't do that on
next week, same time, same network. Take care.
All right,
like that.